to Maker Monday at the Independence Public Library. My name is Caitlin, and I'm glad you joined me again today. Today, Monday, September 28th, is National Neighbor Day. Who are your neighbors? Neighbors don't have to live right next to us. We also have neighbors who live in our community. Mr. Rogers was a man who taught lots of people about being a neighbor. This is a book about him called Who Was Mr. Rogers? We have available at the library. He talked a lot about being friendly to other people and sharing smiles during your day. He was around for a long time on TV. If you're interested in learning more about Mr. Rogers, you can come check this book out. But for our project today, we're going to be making some postcards to share with our neighbors in town. So supplies that you will need include postcards, or if you have cards, that's fine too. You will need crayons or markers to decorate your card, maybe some stickers or something else if you're interested, and then some stamps so that you can mail your postcards. I will pause here for you to collect your supplies, and we do have kits available at the library in case you didn't have a chance to pick one up yet. Now that you have your supplies, let's get started. So a postcard has two sides. It's going to have the side that has a decoration on it, and then it has a side where you can write a message, and then the address portion of the postcard. So in the kit at the library, each kit had two cards that had pictures that you can color, and then there was a blank card that you can decorate however you like. We also put some stickers in there if you want to use the stickers to decorate, or if you have another purpose, that's fine too. And so I'm going to decorate my blank postcard first. You could decorate it however you like. You could draw a picture, you could write your name, you could write something like hello or good afternoon. Whatever you'd like to draw on the back side is just fine. And then we will come back together. So take some time and color all of your postcards or your cards, and we will be back together in a few moments. Okay, now that we've decorated our cards, you can see that I just wrote the word hello on mine, and then I colored the other ones. You can use your imagination and do whatever you'd like. They're very customizable for you. Anything that you'd like to color, you can. We're going to turn the cards over now and write a message to our friends. So on the back of each card, you'll see that there is a space that has lines on the left, and then there's a space that has an address on the right. So on the side of the cards with the lines, we can write a message to our neighbors. We're going to send these cards to our neighbors at care centers here in Independence. These are friends who have had to take extra care during this time, and they haven't been able to see as many people as maybe they would have liked. And so we thought that maybe this would put a smile on their face when they received this card in the mail. So on the side of the card with the lines, you can practice writing anything you like. Maybe you could tell them a joke. Maybe you could tell them how your school year is going so far. Tell them if you're at home doing your school or if you're going to school in a classroom. Or maybe you could just tell them hi and tell them that you're thinking of them. I'll put some ideas on the screen for you to write if you're unsure. But we're not sending this to one person in particular. We're actually going to send it to everybody there so everyone can enjoy our postcards. So I'm going to write a message here. It just says, "We are thinking of you." You can use your crayons to write the message, or you can get a pen or a pencil from your house, whatever you're most comfortable with. But I'll pause the video now, and that way you can look at what's on the screen and maybe write something down of your own. You'll want to write a message on each of your postcards. On the other side of the postcard, you'll notice that we already put the address there. This one is going to our friends at ABCM East. We have cards going to a few locations in town. I'll put the addresses on the screen as well. That way, in case you're making your own cards, you can still send them. In the kit from the library are 2 stamps. Now these stamps might look a little bit different than what you're used to. They don't have a picture on them, but they do count as postage. Postage is something we put on a card for the post office to deliver. So the last step is to put a stamp on your postcard. So you'll peel the stamp away from the label, and it's got a sticky back, just like a sticker. And we put the stamp in the top right corner of that postcard. What that does is it tells the post office that we're ready to deliver the card. So your last step is to visit the post office and drop your card in the mailbox. Or maybe you have a mailbox outside your house. You just want to put this someplace where the post office can pick it up. I want to thank you for sending a card to our neighbors today. I know that our friends will really appreciate the messages and the pictures that we send them. So today I did bring some books from the library that we can look at to talk about neighbors, to talk about mail, to talk about letter writing. All really important things to do as we all maybe aren't spending as much time with each other as we'd like. So this first one tells the story of JJ and Boo as they go to a nursing home. A nursing home is another word for a care center. It's a place where people go if they need some extra care or maybe if they want to move from a big house. So this book tells a story about people that live in the nursing home. Oftentimes those people are grandmas or grandpas. Maybe you know someone that lives in a nursing home. The Berenstain Bears is another one of my favorites. This is a story about them helping their neighbor who's in need. Again, Mr. Rogers told us a lot about neighbors, and this book shows about the Berenstain Bears doing good deeds. This book is called Bow Wow's Nightmare Neighbors. The cool thing about this book is that there's no words, so you get to tell the story using all of the pictures on the inside. So you can see there's lots of photos here that you can tell the story yourself. If you're curious about where the mail goes, this is a book called Where Does the Mail Go? It's really interesting. You can find out what happens when you drop a letter in the post office box and where does it go from there. And lastly, if you want a chapter book, this is a story about a little girl named Clementine. Clementine's in 3rd grade and she likes to write letters. This is a chapter book, but there are some pictures inside. And we do have a few books at the library about Clementine. So we hope you check that out. I want to thank you for joining me today and making these postcards. I would love to see pictures of the colors that you chose for your coloring and then also for how you decorated your own card. We hope that you were able to drop your postcards in the post office box or in the mailbox, and we'll send them to our neighbors here in town. Happy Neighbor Day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.